Have you ever noticed strange sounds, maybe even voices, and they seem to be coming from really unexpected places?
Yeah, like,
Like a running faucet, maybe,
yes.
or the hum from a fan, or, an electric motor.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, right? Where could that possibly be coming from?
It really does. And for our deep dives today, we're actually unpacking some pretty unique source material.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very detailed first-person account that offers this, well, extraordinary explanation for exactly that kind of phenomenon.
It's really something. And, for listeners familiar with concepts like remote neural monitoring, this gives a very vivid, personal story about how it allegedly works.
That's right. So our mission today is basically to explore the claims in this account. It brings up something called remote neural monitoring, or RNM,
R&M, yeah.
and electromagnetic field broadcasts, EMF broadcasts, saying these are the reason for those phantom voices.
Right.
So we're going to step into this world, as the source describes it, looking at ideas like artificial telepathy, subliminal broadcasts.
And even claims about physical interactions being transmitted somehow. It's quite a package.
It is.
And what's interesting is how this account tries to build this whole framework, this explanation for that initial question, why voices from faucets or fans?
Right.
It puts R&M right at the center, connecting it directly to these EMF broadcasts. And EMF, electromagnetic fields, that's a term we hear a lot.
Sure, it's everywhere.
It is, but here the source uses it to describe something really specific, like a targeted energy beam almost.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics a bit, as described.
Mm.
The source says when they're broadcasting to you,
They, meaning the operators, presumably.
right, even if it's not, quote, out loud artificial telepathy, the sound itself will start dispersing through electric motors and fan noises and water processes.
So the idea is that almost any kind of energy release point?
Yeah, any sort of energy disbursement will cause that broadcast to disperse. And then, supposedly, you could hear it out loud, but it's mixed in with those things.
Huh. So the fan noise isn't making the voice, it's just carrying it or mixing with it.
Kind of becoming an accidental speaker, almost.
Yeah.
An unwilling conduit for this unseen broadcast. That seems to be the idea.
Okay. And the source actually details two different modes for this artificial telepathy, both using RNM, apparently.
Right. The first one is called out loud artificial telepathy.
Okay. Out loud.
Yeah. So with this one, the source claims people can literally talk to you.
You hear actual words.
Yeah, you'll hear them out loud. And the sound could come from, well, all over the place, wherever they choose.
Wow. So not tied to one location?
Apparently not. And what's really specific here is the mention of voice settings.
Voice settings, like effects.
Sort of. The source mentions a specific broadcaster, calls him Marcus, who can supposedly use voice settings of anybody they have on remote or all kinds of different presets.
So they can sound like other people? Or just different voice?
Both, it seems. They even describe one specific setting, a real high-rung girl voice setting. It's apparently real high-pitching and kind of screamy.
Okay, that's oddly specific.
It is. It raises questions about control, right? The system, it says, modulates him into whatever voice setting that he wants to use.
And he also controls where the voice seems to come from.
That's the claim. He can control where he wants that voice to seem like it's coming from. It suggests this incredibly sophisticated way to manipulate sound perception.
Does the source say why? Why use different voices, especially that specific high-pitched one?
That's a good question. It doesn't explicitly spell out the why for the voices, but the implication is definitely about creating tailored, maybe confusing or disorienting experiences.
Right.
Then there's the second mode, and the source says this one is actually more common.
Okay.
Subliminal broadcasts. It claims that most people that are on remote neural monitoring, they don't know it.
Ah, so it's happening beneath their awareness.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
subject mostly to these subliminal broadcasts.
And the source compares this to something to help explain it.
Yeah, it draws an analogy to subliminal advertisement from, the old days in movie theaters.
Oh, right, the single frame of popcorn flashing on screen, that kind of thing.
Exactly, that idea. So here, the claim is you don't hear them out loud, but, and this is key, they're connected to you.
Connect to how?
Meaning, allegedly, they could see what you see and they know what you're thinking.
Whoa. Okay, so that's way beyond just hearing things. That's a total invasion of privacy, if true. Thoughts, vision, everything.
That's the implication. Your inner world isn't private anymore. And these broadcasts, the account adds, often involve live streams.
Live streams of what? Their thoughts? Or something else?
It's not entirely clear from that specific bit, but live streams is the term used. So If this is happening subliminally or out loud, can you detect it somehow?
Good question. Does the source offer any way to, like, prove it's happening?
It suggests you could turn on your EMF detector.
Okay, like a standard ghost hunting EMF meter.
Seems like it. And it says the detector can oftentimes find it into the hundreds or even to the thousands, depending on how high they have the broadcast turned up.
Hundreds or thousands. That's a pretty strong reading on a typical EMF meter, usually.
Right. But then there's a catch, according to the source.
Oh.
It claims that if you start recording a video, for instance, they'll usually turn that off
Turn off the broadcast. Why?
because that's giving you evidence that there's an EMF broadcast turned on.
Ah, okay. So it implies the broadcasters are aware they can be detected and actively try to hide it when someone tries to document.
Precisely. It suggests concealment. Now, from these sort of general concepts, the source then shifts into a really personal and frankly quite disturbing story.
Okay.
It details how the speaker allegedly discovered all this. And it starts with a claim about their ex-girlfriend.
His ex. What about her?
The claim is she put him on R&M.
She put him on it. Wow.
Yeah. And this introduces another concept you often hear in these kinds of narratives: gang stalkers.
Right, that term comes up a lot. Organized harassment, stalking.
Exactly. Individuals or groups engaging in systematic harassment, psychological manipulation,
Yeah.
often supposedly using R&M, like we've been discussing.
Okay. And how do they fit in here, according to the source?
Well, they're linked to something the source calls mind control orgies.
Mind control orgies. Okay, that's a term. What does the source claim that even means?
It gets pretty graphic. It describes participants connecting to each other with the mind control headset.
A headset, okay.
Yeah, to apparently feel each other's senses. This supposedly enables group sex, or something called EMF sex.
EMF sex.
Yeah, and the source is very clear.
Yeah.
This is real-life sex, where it's physically happening and a person can become pregnant. It's not virtual.
Okay, so shared sensory experience during actual physical encounters. That's the claim.
That's the claim. And it gets stranger. It says these gang stalkers will then broadcast the orgy experience, to the person that they're actually dating.
Broadcast the sensory feed of the orgy to their partner.
The source calls it a ritual for people living a secret double life.
Wow. Okay. That's intense.
Extremely. And the speaker says, initially, he didn't understand what he was hearing. He thought he was just overhearing his ex's phone calls.
What was he hearing?
Things like sex noises, mentions of rape stuff, and generally what he describes as freaky sex or graphic content.
So he thought it was just weird phone calls at first.
Yes. But then he had this realization. It wasn't just phone calls.
Ah, he connected it to the broadcast idea.
Exactly. He realized the sounds were a broadcast and weren't limited to when his ex was supposedly on the phone. This led him to try and record it.
How? If they supposedly turn it off when you try to record?
He describes a really unusual method he stumbled upon to record what he calls artificial telepathy.
Which was?
Calling myself with two phones.
Calling himself. How does that work?
His reasoning is that the cellular signal is close enough to a EMF broadcast signal. They're both microwaves.
Okay, so the idea is interference.
Yeah. So it would intercept the broadcast as interference. That's the theory presented.
Huh. That's creative, I guess. Did it work, according to him?
He claims it did. Says he started recording 24 hours a day.
24/7.
Yep. And that he amassed, get this, 15,000 artificial telepathic tracks.
15,000! That is a staggering amount of alleged recordings.
It really is. But the claimed discoveries didn't actually stop with audio.
Oh.
And he then claims he discovered visual broadcast in my videos.
Visual broadcasts, like images in his videos.
Yeah, and the ability to see the broadcast in photos and videos as well. He mentioned seeing graphic details in these supposed visual overlays.
Graphic how? Like the stuff he thought he was hearing earlier.
It implies that, yes. And furthermore, he asserts that because these are gang stalker live streams, they often contain hidden links to their live stream.
Links embedded in the picture or video file.
Embedded within the video or the pictures, yeah.
How would you even find that?
He says if you learn how to edit good, like maybe manipulating contrast or layers, you can supposedly see letters and numbers.
Letters and numbers forming what?
Potentially an internet link that can actually take you somewhere, like a URL hidden in the image data itself.
Okay, that's really pushing the boundaries. Hidden links and visual data leading to live streams of whatever this activity is.
Yeah, it suggests this deep layer of hidden information, potentially accessible if you know how to look, embedded in everyday media, according to this account anyway.
So, what happened after he claims to have found all this? The audio tracks, the visual stuff, the links?
Well, according to the source, things escalated dramatically. He claims his discoveries meant, quote, she went ahead and pulled the plug, and they had to get rid of me.
Pulled the plug, meaning his ex and the alleged gang stalkers.
That's the implication. This, he says, led to a full-blown gang stalk.
What did that involve?
He describes it as them trying to destroy my life, turning on the out-loud artificial telepathic broadcasting nonstop, so constant voices.
That sounds incredibly stressful, if true.
Absolutely. And even escalating to physical threats, claiming they were shooting at me and trying to kill me.
Wow. Okay, so direct physical violence alleged as well.
Yeah. And he says that in response to all this alleged persecution, he's been running an ongoing internet campaign, presumably sharing his story and evidence.
Right, trying to get the word out. So, bringing this all together, what does this mean for someone listening trying to process this? It's a lot.
It is a lot. We've essentially walked through some really extraordinary claims from this specific source material, haven't we?
Definitely. The whole idea of remote neural monitoring, these different types of artificial telepathy out loud, subliminal.
The idea of broadcasts coming through, faucets and fans using EMF.
Yeah, and then that incredibly detailed, very intense personal story of discovery, the mind control orgies, the recordings, the alleged escalation.
Right. Our goal here was really just to present these specific claims. They come directly from the source material, offering its explanation for why someone might hear voices from odd places.
And painting this much larger, much more elaborate picture of R&M and gang stalking that the source believes is real.
Exactly.
So, maybe a final thought to leave listeners with. In a world just saturated with information, with technology everywhere, sometimes the line between what we perceive and what's actually real can feel blurry, can it?
For sure.
So when you encounter claims like this, so unusual, so elaborate, how do you even begin to discern what might be happening? Where do you draw the line between perception, maybe suggestion, and potentially unseen forces, as the source claims?
That's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do we make sense of something so far outside ordinary experience? Definitely something to think about.